Set your goals high because you can achieve a lot more than what you think you can. And if you don't set your goals high enough, life is kind of boring. You need to challenge yourself a little bit. As a country setting, actually for a teenager, it was pretty boring. There wasn't a whole lot to do. There was three of us that hung out together, and our biggest adventure was a 45-minute bicycle ride into the town. There wasn't a whole lot going on. It was a country setting. I was the youngest in the family, so I was always the brute of all their jokes. If they had something they didn't want to do, they'd pick on me until I got it done. And to this day, it's about the same way. I consider them model parents. They treated me the way I was raised was the way I tried to raise you. Dad was kind of gruff, hard to talk to, but other than that, I got along very well with him. Me and Dad worked together. I learned a lot from him growing up. Me and him worked together a long time in the shop working electronics and stuff, and he introduced me to the computers back when they were first coming out, the old IBM, and he got me to think in a logical way rather than what I learned from school. I learned from him that understanding computers and electronics and stuff changes your way of thinking, the way you stack things together. I like to think whenever somebody's thinking of something, there's two sides and there's a fence in the middle. Instead of just thinking as one-sided or thinking the other side, I like to think I stand on the fence. I think about things ways other people don't think, and that's how I come up with ideals people don't think of. I was one of the nerds that went to school with the pocket protector and had the pencils. I liked school a lot, and that clashed with all my other brothers and sisters because they weren't real happy about being in school, but I liked it. I didn't have no idea what I was going to do when I grew up. I thought maybe I would be into electronics more because that's what my dad was teaching me as I grew up. But then when I went to Florida and got into heating and air conditioning, I finally settled down, and that's going to be my career choice. So that's what I did. That's all I did. I was a field wireman and field radio operator. He was only supposed to go to school, learn 2 MOSs, but they couldn't find anybody to go to NBC Defense School, which is Nuclear Biological Chemical Defense. So they sent me, and then I come back as a teacher's aide to teach my platoon, and I was also the colonel's driver. And we flew over Iran when they burned our flag in '82. I lived on the airport in Okinawa for 2 weeks waiting to go, and then we got the call to go, and just before we got there, the president turned us around to back. That was the beginning of everything you know about over in Iraq, Iran. That was the beginning, the first time they burnt the flags. Oh yeah, definitely. I was on guard duty one night, and the guy on the post beside me, he hung himself. And I didn't know at the time what he'd done, but I just knew he was dead. And I wasn't sure what was happening, and yeah, I was nervous. I was scared. I was in Spain, Turkey, Norway, of course Okinawa, and Philippines and Hong Kong. Okinawa was pretty unique, different. Their lifestyle is different. I kind of liked them the way I like the Amish people. I like their culture, the way they live. Although I don't know if I could fit in, but having a new experience of somebody living totally different from the way we live, I thought it was pretty neat. I had a hard time. People were afraid of me because I was physically fit, short haired, and the Marine didn't like the idea of people didn't want to talk to me or nothing because they were afraid of making me mad or anything. It was an adjustment. I didn't really like civilians too well. When I first come back, I wanted to go back to the Marine Corps, be with the people hung around acting the way I did. I thought, at the time, I kind of thought civilians were stupid. I wouldn't say it was trouble adjusting, but it did take a couple months to go to get used to my new lifestyle. But even today, I still feel the Marines with me still. Yes, definitely. I'm different because I got the military background, and I think that helped form me into who I am today. I could do more than I thought I could do. My abilities are greater than what my mental capacity is. Me and my cousin from out in River Wells, once every full moon, we go out to the bars and drink and dance, and that's how I met your mother there. First time I met her, I was on leave from the Marine Corps, and I think I intimidated her a little bit. But then after that, we met again at a bar on a full moon, and been together ever since. I'm self-employed, heating and air conditioning company. When me and your mother lived in Florida, I took on a job driving a truck, and I had the opportunity to go to school for ductworking, and that's where it started. I went to school, and I aced the school, and they paid me back, and I've been doing that ever since. That had to be Globe. I shut the company down for 3 months and went to Globe Metallurgy Company, working in furnaces, and that was 3 months of manual labor. I was getting ready to leave the plant, and I was getting ready to pull out of my parking spot, and I eased the truck up a little bit, and I seen a semi coming, so I stopped to let him go past me, and he pulled right in front of me and blocked me off, and so I left spinning the tires, and I was fired before I got home. We knew you were going to be smart. We never talked to you like a baby. You had that Haverty stubborn attitude, but we thought you were way above your classification as far as the other kids were. One time I was out, you was just a youngin'. We was outside and I was playing a fool, and I got on your little bicycle, tried to ride it in the yard, and did a flip right off the back of it. And then everybody on the porch was laughing at me, but I also noticed the neighbors were putting a new roof on, and all the roofers were laughing. I thought one was going to fall off. They laughed so hard. Yeah, I would have spent a little more time with you and less time with the company. But family's more important than making money, making a paycheck, although it is important. The money's going to come and go out as bills, whatnot, but the family's always going to be there.